Welcome students. Till last class we have completed the stopping side distance and overtaking side distance analysis and problems on this particular distances that affects the geometric design, right? In this class I will discuss intermediate side distance, headlight side distance and the curves which are provided horizontally and vertically in the highways. Right here the design of horizontal and vertical alignment of curves. In this curve you'll be having, for horizontal is super elevation and extra widening of highways, and in vertical curves you'll be having gradients, summits and valley curves, right? So here in types of curves, in horizontal you'll be learning super elevation and extra widening of the curves, and similarly in vertical alignment of curves you'll be learning summit and valley curves of highways, right? And we are left with intermediate side distance and headlight side distance. So let us see what is intermediate side distance and headlight side distance. In previous lectures we have already discussed this side distance which are recommended by Indian Road Congress, apart from stopping side distance, overtaking side distance and safe side distance in uncontrolled intersections. Apart from these three, the Indian Road Congress has recommended intermediate side distance as well as headlight side distance. So here the intermediate side distance is nothing but the twice the stopping side distance, that is nothing but ISD. ISD can be considered as 2 times of SSD. This is the definition. You can have the intermediate side distance is twice the stopping side distance when overtaking side distance cannot be provided on the highway. So that intermediate side distance is provided in the place of stopping side distance, to that is to limit the overtaking opportunity for the fast moving vehicles. That is the main intention to consider the intermediate side distance. So here whenever you are asked to calculate intermediate side distance, you have to first calculate stopping side distance and then multiply that value with 2. That means twice the stopping side distance. That will give the intermediate side distance of the vehicle, right? And we are remaining with headlight side distance. Headlight side distance is nothing but stopping side distance only, because this headlight side distance is considered during night driving under the illumination of vehicle headlights, so that it is the distance as same as the stopping side distance. So that whenever you are asked to calculate headlight side distance per a particular speed to the vehicle on a highway with design speed, in that case you have to calculate the stopping side distance, and that is nothing but the nothing but that is headlight side distance. So here this much is enough to discuss on intermediate side distance and headlight side distance that is recommended by Indian Road Congress. So that up till here we have completed stopping side distance, overtaking side distance, intermediate side distance and headlight side distance. Let us move with design of horizontal and vertical alignment of curves. So in this curve of alignments I will start studying first horizontal curve, that is super elevation and widening. So let us complete this horizontal curve and then move with the vertical curves, right? So here before starting horizontal curves we should know why it is provided horizontal curve and what is the necessity to provide this horizontal curve on the highway. So here this horizontal curve is considered when the alignment of a highway changes its direction. Say for example the alignment of the highway is particularly in this manner, so that it changes its center line direction. It is the main direction and it is the curved path. So here in this case we have to achieve the same speed what we are gaining in the plain road or straight roads, so that it is to provide a same speed on the curve also. In this case some of the problems, so some of the forces that may interact with the body, So that force is considered to be a centrifugal force, right? Whenever your vehicle or whenever a body moving with a curving linear path, in that case the body will experience the centrifugal force. So that to counteract that centrifugal force, we have to provide a centripetal force which has to be built in the particular path, right? So here the horizontal curve is considered with an centrifugal force. We all know that this is the basic concept. P is equal to W V square by GR. W is the weight of the vehicle and V is the speed in which the vehicle or the body is moving around, and G is the gravitational force, and R is the radius of particular curve, right? And this is the basic formula. We know that the centrifugal force, right? And we need to consider this centrifugal force into our alignment of highway. So before considering this alignment, we should know that what are the factors that involve into the analysis of this stopping, that is super elevation. So here, whenever you are providing a particular curve on a highway, we are going to provide, or we are going to consider a super elevation. That super elevation is nothing but the rise of outer edge with respect to center of the road, right? So here you can see in this image, this is the super elevation provided. It is the rise of outer edge with respect to center of the road towards outside. Once you provide this concept, it will be considered as a super elevation. So here, to provide this super elevation, how much rise is to be provided, right? And how much, what is the speed, for which speed how much rise is to be provided, and how much frictional force will develop over there, and what is the centrifugal force and what is centripetal force, right? And what about the total weight of the body which is moving on the circular path. And these are all the factors which is intended to consider into the analysis of the super elevation. And apart from this, the IRC has recommended in lateral movement of the vehicle, the frictional force is considered as 0.15. It is already discussed in the factors affecting particular highway geometry, right? The F is 0.15 in longitudinal direction, as well as the F we have studied in, so in this is lateral direction. In longitudinal direction we have discussed that 0.35 to 0.40. This is the frictional force that is considered or recommended by Indian Road Congress in longitudinal direction of highway. If the vehicle moving laterally, in this case the frictional force is considered to be 0.15, and the content is already discussed. And apart from this, super elevation, the E, that is rise of the rise of this outer edge, is considered as 7% is to be maximum. The 7% of maximum super elevation is considered for the super elevation, and that is recommended by Indian Road Congress, are nothing but 0.07. If it exceeds 0.07, if it is exceeds, we have to limit the speed, and we have to limit the speed for the given frictional value. We have to limit the speed for the given frictional value and to the super elevation. So that we have to consider this E as 7% and F as 0.15. So keeping mind into this content, we have to analyze the particular situation. So here the situation is concerned to the centrifugal force P, W V square by GR, acting horizontally outwards through the center of the gravity of the body, as we all know this one. And similarly, the weight of vehicle acting vertically downwards through the CG, yes. And the frictional force developed between the wheel and the pavement counteracts transversely along the pavement surface towards the center of curve. So here this is the concept which is considered to analyze the super elevation. Let us see in the image here. The centrifugal force will act outwards to the body, yes, that is P cos theta, and that is considered to be, this is the centrifugal force. Once it is, the body is tilted, then we will be having certain angle, and that is considered to be P cos theta. And similarly, the weight of the body is acting vertically here, that is W. Once it is tilted, it is considered to be W sin theta, right? And similarly here, the frictional force acting on the wheel, that is F1 and F2, that is considered right here with the providing super elevation E. Let us have a discussion on this content. The various forces acting on vehicle, that is weight of the vehicle, centripetal force and frictional force. Centripetal force is considered P, and weight of the body is W considered, and frictional force F1 and F2 is considered. So I am equating this total force to P cos theta, that is P cos theta, that is the force P cos theta, whatever the equating, that is counteracting the forces of F1 and F2, right? And W sin theta, this is total weight of the body. It is because of tilted, we are considering W sin theta. So I am equating this coplanar non-concurrent forces, that is P cos theta, W sin theta, and F1 and F2, this F1 and F2, so that W sin theta will be remaining here, and F1 F2 is considered with frictional force, that is F will be there, along with reaction R1 and reaction R2 for the vehicle, for the wheel 2. So here I will get substituted here W sin theta F into R1 plus R2. So here R1 and R2 are the total reaction force which is developed due to the weight of the vehicle, so that weight of the vehicle can be contracted with P sin theta and W cos theta. W cos theta and P sin theta, just we are substituting in the place of R1 and R2, and then the equation is rearranged. P cos theta minus F sin theta equal to W sin theta plus F cos theta. That's cos theta, P and W are rearranged. Once we are rearranged, just we are dividing with W cos theta, and we will be getting with P by cos theta, W by cos theta will get cancelled, and P by W will remain, minus F P sin theta by W cos theta, the P by sin by cos, that will be tan theta, right? And F P by W will be remain over here. And similarly, this W sin theta by W cos theta will be tan theta, and W get cancelled, and F W cos theta will get cancelled, and F will be remain over here. Just substituting P by W here, and we are getting common P by W on the outside, so that P by W 1 minus tan F tan theta, and remaining tan theta plus F will be written over here. And then after simplifying the equation, we will be end up with P by W equal to E plus F, and we all know that P by W is a centrifugal force, and for the centrifugal force, P can be written as W V square by GR, right? And W is here, so that V square by GR we can equate this one, so that when P by W is equal to V square by GR, then V square by GR is also equal to E plus F, and that gives the super elevation considerations and analysis. So here E is the super elevation and F is the frictional value, that is 0.15, and E is 0.07. it is the maximum value, so that you can provide 0.06, 0.05 less than this value, but you cannot go more than 0.07 or 7%. And 0.15 is the frictional force, it is to be considered, and V is the speed of the vehicle, and G is the gravitational force, and R is the radius of the curve, right? So this derivation is most important along with this diagram. This will be asked many times in the exam. So in next class, I'll start discussing the problems on super elevation, right? Thank you.